Yes, and welcome back to Tommy Starcraft. This is your host Tommy with another Starcraft Remastered replay for you guys. Once again, we have a great engagement in between the two pro players from the international scene, I believe it is. So let me just start by introducing the players to you guys as we are spawning here in the upper left. In the white it is MAI, and his opponent here in the lower right in the teal it is ARTOSIS. So yeah, I said an international gameplay given the fact that ARTOSIS is of course a known player from the United States of America, currently living in Korea, and I believe that MAI is also from South Korea, but I'm not sure about this. Both players are spawning here on Overwatch. I believe it is a 4 spawning location map here. So yeah, small thumbnail here, a small hint for you guys. Once again, on that thumbnail we of course see ARTOSIS next to that siege tank, and there is a zealot also next to that. Actually, 2 zealots pretty soon to be next to that siege tank. So yeah, not really a good plan for a Terran to have those zealots next to your siege tanks. But yeah, let's just see what exactly is going to happen here, as ARTOSIS is opening up here of course with a supply depot. Notice not next to his command center, he's placing in here next to his gas chamber here, so perhaps wishing to do a wall off here. Be an interesting build order here. Should continue of course with a barracks, but yeah, most Terrans really like to go into those mechanical units like we've seen on the thumbnail, those siege tanks, vultures and Goliaths, in case there is some air later on from the Protoss. Now we see the gateway here for the Protoss island, and there is that extractor. So pretty standard stuff, and we are closing at a 2-minute mark. Of course, you guys know this 2-minute mark is of course the timer when both players, or usually the players, move out to scout the map, but from the looks of it none of the players really wishing to move out. But hold on, we actually see this one SCV here from ARTOSIS heading this way. Don't think he's going for a fast expansion, no indeed, he's just going to create a scout map, and the same can be said here for MAI. So pretty standard stuff here by both players. This should be his cybernetic score, of course, for those Dragoons early on with that range upgrade, really strong against any Terran. And interesting enough, he has also placed here a pylon, so perhaps he's also wishing here to do a wall off. And by the looks of it, it's actually a 2 spawning location map, because both players just head straight to each other's bases here. So yeah, 2 location map it should be here, cross spawns, small map here. So yeah, let's just see what exactly is going to happen. This could be the first factory here for ARTOSIS. Yes indeed, as the one SCV already taking damage, but the first marine is out, and many more marines should of course pop out here early on. Perhaps some 3 marines would be enough to hold this ramp. Yeah, let's just check. You can also see of course in the upper left part, like I told you in previous replays, there is that production tab here, just in case I'm missing something. So yeah, the first Dragoon should be out really soon. There it is, as the SCV should of course run here for his life. And yeah, ARTOSIS is still deciding to stick around here, but sadly he's going to lose his SCV of course as soon as the second Dragoon pops out, but still stays around, still checks for another pylon, perhaps for some cheese gameplay here by the Protoss. And as I say this, look, he's actually placing here a pylon. So he could build a robotics facility bay here, he could launch some shuttle gameplays here towards ARTOSIS. Let's just see if he is ready for this, and let's just check what exactly he's doing. So of course, like many Protosses, they really like to cheese into that robotics facility bay, perhaps into a shuttle with some Dragoons early on. But even a reaver could be a possibility, but he needs a robotics bay or reaver bay, what exactly it is called. And yeah, at the same time he decides to move out here with his Dragoons. And yeah, Dragoons with that range upgrade, but it still will take some time. ARTOSIS is pretty much ready with a 1 bunker here. And yeah, also prepares here a wall in. Some of his tanks should also pop out really soon. Siege tank ability not yet finished, as ARTOSIS is the first one deciding here to expand. So we're closing at the 5-minute mark. Let's just see if he's going to continue here with a robotics facility bay. There's this probe, of course he saw that expansion, so exactly that. Also going here for an expansion. Now the range is upright, and look at that once again, those Dragoons with that range able to attack here that bunker without taking damage. But ARTOSIS having here this 1 siege tank, looking really good with his defenses, but still, like I told you, no siege tank ability. However, the early range here from the siege tank should be enough to hold this position, as there's only 2 dragoons here, so of course 2 SCVs are needed here to repair this bunker. And there we have that shuttle. The first shuttle is being produced here by the Protoss. The dragoons are retreating, so they might go into this one shuttle. But hold on, we actually have this robotics support bay here, so we might see a reaver here. Yes, indeed, there is that reaver. So the 5-minute mark, almost 6-minute mark here, should be the first reaver out. The dragoons are retreating at home just in case some vultures will drive by. So yeah, still no siege tank ability here. I believe that now perhaps ARTOSIS thinks that something is coming towards his way, because it was just 2 dragoons, so no mass dragoons here for the Protoss, just 2 dragoons here, as there's that armory and that supply depot. So, and even that, what a great sneaky gameplay here by MAI with this cheese gameplay. Is actually deciding here to expand in the lower left. So of course ARTOSIS has this one scan. I believe his expansion also having a scan, but I don't think that he has scanned here this location. Great gameplay here by the Protoss. And here we go, the first shuttle is about to launch here. Actually no defenses here for ARTOSIS, so he might be early on in some serious trouble. Sorry. So yeah, in comes the reaver with the shuttle, and let's just see how much splash damage going to be taken here by those SCVs. There we have the count, 31 workers, still 32, so no connections here by the reaver balls. Yeah, still one SCV has been killed, good splash damage, and great micro here by MAI. Really great stuff here by him. Please excuse me. And some SCVs could be caught up here, so just see no turrets here for ARTOSIS, and once again some SCVs might get sniped here, but the worker count looks really good here for ARTOSIS. Still he has 30 workers, and of course some siege tanks will be left here and also down here, so not that much of a good harassment here by the Protoss. Still having that one reaver, forcing here ARTOSIS to move back, forcing some economic damage here, some delayed mining here, so really nice stuff here by the Protoss, but also great defense here by the ARTOSIS. And he has this one Goliath, so of course the Goliath, the perfect counter here against this one Shuttle. So yeah, nice stuff here by both players. But like I told you, in this meantime, the Protoss actually decided here to expand, and I don't think that ARTOSIS has an idea about what is going on. And look at that, he's even expanding here it at the 12 o'clock position, so this is really nice. Just a fool here ARTOSIS, of course, a little bit. He will very likely scan here this location, but I don't think that he's very likely going to scan here this one. So yeah, really great stuff here by the Protoss. Not that high on dragoons here, some probes are on idle, happens of course. And yeah, just mass gateways here for the Protoss player. We also have that weapons 1 upgrade here. I really like that here from ARTOSIS, giving importance towards his upgrades, and he's going for a starport here, so he might go for some science vessel. Is this a science facility? No, it's just a supply depot. And yeah, great parked observer here, so really great vision here for the Protoss, as he's also having here another observer on its way. Still no anti-air here for ARTOSIS, as he's actually sending out here a CV towards the map, so no scans, perhaps wishing to not lose any of those scans, just in case the Protoss goes for some Templars here, for some Dark Templars. This is exactly why he has chosen here SCV to move out. So basically ARTOSIS still has no idea that this expansion is up and running here, so very nice stuff here. Of course he's thinking that some Dark Templars might come towards his way, some shuttle gameplay with some high Templars perhaps, but still interesting enough. He's just turtling here around into his main, having 2 expansions here with pretty good SCV count, 44 versus 52 here from the Protoss already. Protoss is very likely going on a high economic advantage really soon to be. Now finally the SCV is going to scout this, and yeah, but he's going to see actually very low probe count here for the Protoss, and so many nice pylon placed here by Protoss. Yeah, let's just see how much energy does ARTOSIS have. Full energy, of course. He's expecting Dark Templars, but no Dark Templars here to come, and no turrets here, interesting enough, for ARTOSIS. This is very likely going to go into a science vessel, so he's predicting some Dark Templar gameplay here by the Protoss, but no such thing yet from him. I don't see the Templar Archive, just mass gateways. I actually see a Stargate here, so he might transition into some carriers. But of course, with so many ground units, it will also be a Arbiter gameplay here. And yeah, really nice spread here by the Protoss. Still having this one shuttle here with that reaver here, but the spread is really nice here by ARTOSIS with those tanks. Let's just see what exactly. Still no major engagement here. We have passed the 10-minute mark. Still a very defensive gameplay here, of course, by ARTOSIS, by any Terran. And yeah, still has no idea perhaps about this. And he should of course know about this expansion by now. Still having here this one vulture. And yeah, let's just see when exactly the big engagement is going to happen. Of course, those tanks will be strong against Dragoons. I don't see any Zealots, interesting enough, here for the Protoss. What could this be? Yet another gateway. And as I see, and I say that there's no Zealots, income mass Zealots, but they don't have any upgrades, no leg upgrade, and also no shield or weapons upgrade here. Let's check the upper left. There's that speed upgrade, and there's that, of course, first weapons upgrade as incomes ARTOSIS with some vultures. Tries perhaps to snap some of those workers, but in the end the Protoss already almost at 200 supply here. So we are just pumping insanely out of those gateways. Already 8 gateways here for him. Let's check all of those buildings with this Arbiter Tribune, of course. We will see, of course, an Arbiter just to support those Protoss units, to make them invisible, and also cast that stasis field really nice against any siege tank composition here. So yeah, nice armies here, split in two for the Protoss as he's roaming around here, perhaps trying to snap some of those vultures. And yeah, let's just see if this continues. Of course, like this, the economic advantage should be overwhelmingly here for the Protoss, as he's already at 180 supply, and interesting enough, he's just attacking one of those islands now, perhaps wishing to make a way here. So yeah, I don't really know why exactly he did this. Perhaps he just wished to open the floods here in case there's some shuttle gameplay here by ARTOSIS, some dropship gameplay. But yeah, there's no such thing as ARTOSIS still staying here into his main. Of course, those siege tanks have those upgrades, one weapons upgrades. He has some vultures, he has some Goliaths, as he's transitioning by himself into mass factories here. But yeah, look at that, we have the 30-minute mark here, and the Protoss is pretty much maxed out now. Stasis trap is being researched, and yeah, it's really an overwhelmingly force here by the Protoss. As once again, oh, this is exactly why he has opened the floodgates, as ARTOSIS, I might have missed this. It's very hard to see, because the color here from ARTOSIS is pretty much the same, just like the minerals. So he tried some harassment, but it didn't really make much thing happens. Perhaps he just sniped a worker or two. In the end, of course, the Protoss holds really strong here. He makes even some cannons now. He's can afford this, and at the same time he's also expanding here. So just a 2 base Terran, soon to be against a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base Protoss here. And by the looks of it on the minimap, I see that Protoss is pretty much moving out here now on the map. Same can be said here over by ARTOSIS, so he has finally decided to move out with his 160 supply now against that 190 here from the Protoss. And pretty soon they will, of course, meet really here on the map. Let's just check those upgrades. Really strong upgrades here for ARTOSIS. 1 armor, 2 weapons, even has a science vessels. And in comes the Protoss with not that many upgrades, but here we go. We have finally the first huge engagement here on the map. Some Dragoons are a little bit exposed here. Siege tanks are now finally sieging up, but really slow. In comes those Zealots here just to fight here forward. No mines, interesting enough, and by the looks of it, the Protoss just overwhelmingly here against ARTOSIS. So ARTOSIS needs to back up, he needs to wait for those reinforcements. Both players did suffer some casualties, but in the end, yeah, it looks really good here for the Protoss as he's pushing here forward with his Zealots, taking of course some splash damage out of those mines. But yeah, if you look at the minimap, there's just so many bases here for the Protoss, and that the economy looks really strong here for him, as he's just keep pumping out more and more of those gateway units here. And yeah, even having not that large amount of a probe count, but only 60, still enough here for him. as he's pretty much in control here against Terran. So perhaps ARTOSIS could have tried a little bit of more of a harassment with that dropship. But yeah, let's just see for how long he will hold now with those vultures, with those siege tanks. Should be some siege tanks in the back. And it looks like MAI is just preparing yet another attack here. And yeah, let's just see just massive vultures here. But we now even have this one arbiter. Siege tanks are sieging up, of course. Good scan here for ARTOSIS. The observer is also here. And yeah, those zealots have fallen here actually, so the dragoons are pretty much exposed now. So then tanks could shell, of course, those dragoons with those upgrades. Really good. But we actually have this one reaver now in the back here, dealing good splash damage. And yeah, somehow ARTOSIS did hold. But yeah, in the end he sadly has to, of course, GG out, as MAI is going to take this with an early nice harassment here, and with a nice hidden expansion yet into another expansion. Sadly for ARTOSIS, he played it a little bit too defensively here, but it's really hard to engage against a Protoss. It's always hard to guess what exactly is coming towards his way. This is why he went for that fast science vessel. No turret sadly here for him, so yeah, in the end the Protoss with that economic advantage just having here being the winner of this game. So congratulations here for him. Let's just check those stats really quick in case you guys are interested. Once again, I'm going to be clicking left and right. Not that much APM here for MAI, interesting enough, but his nice strategy with that shuttle early on and with that hidden expansion. I believe the hidden expansion was his main forte and his main atu here, giving him the win against ARTOSIS. So pretty nice Terran versus Protoss. Pretty nice cheesy gameplay here. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this replay as much as I did. This is your host Tommy, signing out.